New legal trouble for the founder of the now bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange FTX. Today, prosecutors unsealed 4 new charges against Sam Bankman-Fried. The new charges could add another 40 years of prison time if Bankman-Fried is convicted.
Sam Bankman-Fried, the FTX co-founder, charged with hundreds of illegal campaign donations. He's accused of, quote, flooding the political system with tens of millions of dollars of illegal contributions, according to new indictments. The new 12-count indictment adds 4 more charges related to the collapse of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX, which prosecutors say was a multi-billion-dollar fraud. Prosecutors accuse Sam Bankman-Fried of essentially stealing FTX customer money to fund his political givings and then covering it up. To help us understand what's new in the SBF investigation and the charges against SBF thus far, NBC's investigative correspondent Tom Winter.
Tom, walk us through what we've learned in these new charges. What do we know about these charges?
Sure, Ellison. So as you said, it's those 4 new counts and that additional jail time that could be the most immediate concern for Sam Bankman-Fried. What we learned today in an additional 25 pages worth of charging documents are more specifics and more details specifically tied to the campaign donation scheme that federal prosecutors allege Bankman-Fried engaged in. So according to their indictment, he funneled money through straw donors. That would be if I had maxed out all my donations in a given political cycle and I wanted to continue my donations. If I gave money to you, Ellison, and then you made those donations in your name, that's straw donorship, and that is against the law. And so that's what they charged here today. And we knew that he engaged in some of these activities in the past, according to prosecutors. What's new today is how they structured it and how they put it together, according to the indictment. And specifically, the totals of this are starting to really come into focus. Tens of millions of dollars of donations to Republicans as well as to Democrats, the majority, I should say, to Democrats. It's a case that obviously will be closely following. Bankman-Fried has pleaded not guilty.
Now, this next part's interesting, and honestly, this kind of makes me angry. This makes me frustrated to live in America, because FTX Japan users are allowed a total withdrawal of their funds. Users rejoice in their escape from FTX. So what are our regulators doing to help us out as individuals, say getting our money off FTX, or what are our regulators doing in general to help cryptocurrency thrive in the United States? It seems like the only thing that Gary Gensler has done in the past few years has meet with Sam Bankman-Fried regularly. And the only thing he's done in the past few weeks is talk about how everything except Bitcoin is a security. And this is not an official edict by him or the SEC. I guess he's just getting more vocal, saying that, everything except Bitcoin is a security. It's kind of like almost just creating a little bit of FUD, and the Bitcoin maximalists are certainly running with this. It's even more interesting that this article that Michael Saylor is quote tweeting, where Gary Gensler says everything but FTX is possibly a security, the same article is very critical of Gary Gensler for being so close with FTX. So the regulator whose opinion you're really promoting and propagating was in bed with FTX, Saylor. You're not talking about this. Friendly reminder, and this is from a lawyer and Bitcoiner and contributor of Bitcoin Magazine, so this is maybe a message to the Bitcoin maxis. Friendly reminder that Gensler's opinion on what is or isn't a security are not legal dispositive. In this country, judges, not SEC chairs, ultimately determine what the law means and how it applies. Now, it doesn't mean his thoughts are irrelevant, they're just not dispositive. Which is to say, the SEC can bring enforcement actions and get settlements, but those aren't legal precedents. Companies, individuals can choose to go to trial, where the SEC would have to prove to a judge that something was a security if that's an element of the allegation. I'm going to like this. I appreciate the alpha. And Bitcoin maximalists celebrating Gary Gensler's ideology that everything is a security other than Bitcoin, cheering on the regulators, cheering on the regulation, surprising and very dangerous for Bitcoin. Positive competition in the crypto space makes Bitcoin better. Monopolizing anything is dangerous to liberty and innovation. And innovation is good for Bitcoin. Case in point, I think the only reason that Bitcoin has ordinals, NFTs, inscriptions, whatever you want to call them this year, native in the Bitcoin blockchain, is because Ethereum did it first with much success in 2021. And now Bitcoin has their own version. Inscriptions or ordinals or Bitcoin NFTs have led to a big spike in number of full node runners, many new Lightning users, new partially signed Bitcoin transaction usage, fee versus rewards are up 2.75%. So the craze goes in ebbs and flows, but all of this seems good for Bitcoin. Do you agree? And of course, Gary Gensler and the SEC, they always maintain that what they're doing, regulating or attempting to regulate crypto, is in essence to help you, to help users, to help the actual investors. Now, Charles Hoskinson just dropped a bombshell revelation about the real motive behind the recent regulatory attacks on cryptocurrency. I want you to tell me what you think of this video, and props to JChains for creating this video, by the way. Give him a follow if you have yet to. And now let me know what you think. Is this the real motive behind Gary Gensler?
According to You Today, Cardano creator Charles Hoskinson recently revealed that he believes the real trigger behind the recent regulatory attacks on crypto are not because of protecting investors, but rather about maintaining the status quo of the traditional financial system. Now, we all feel this. The SEC is dirty from the top down. Do you agree with that statement? Let us know down in the comments.
Now, in other news, Solana went offline again. Now it's back online following a second restart, but the quick take is the Solana blockchain is back working again after 2 attempts to fix it. Engineers are monitoring its performance. I'm reminded of this video posted by a Cardano bull, Stake with Pride. Every time Solana goes down, let's rewatch Solana co-founder celebrate focus on getting paid plus shortcuts rather than engineering discipline. Now, Solana is certainly not out. Solana is going to be here. Cardano also here differentiating itself. It doesn't go down. It's very decentralized. It's telling that the Solana co-founder said this about Cardano.
It's been popular to shit on Cardano. So I'm going to say Cardano next. And that is because I used to be a Haskell programmer. The approach that they're taking is so extremely like esoteric, with like such a huge stick up their ass about correctness, that this is why they're never going to ship. And it's almost like, they're trying, right? They're trying to build something that is like a cathedral. As an engineer that had to ship code, like, and get paid for it. It's just that stuff doesn't work. You got to like swallow, like kiss a couple frogs in your design and like ship stuff and just get it done. And
cryptocurrency is the future, ladies and gentlemen. Now that might be hard to envision, just like in the 80s, it was hard to envision personal computers gaining adoption. In the 90s, it was hard to envision internet gaining adoption, but cut to 10 years later, now people were sure of it. Wouldn't it have been amazing to be in on personal computers in 1983 if you had some vision? So take a look at this. Debate on the Today Show in 1983. Will home computers gain adoption? Crypto is here today. My name is Aaron. Subscribe to the channel. We're just getting started. Give the video a like if you got value. See you tomorrow.
Home computer sales, classroom computer sales seem to have peaked and now have hit a flat period, and some say they're going to...
I don't think so.
Oh yes, they've hit a flat period. What should that tell us?
I really don't believe that they've hit a flat period. The computer market has been and is rising at about 30% per year, and nowhere has there been a flat period.
It is not rising at nearly the rate it was going.
Yes, it is.
No. Well, we disagree. We're looking at two different sets of numbers. My question to you is the home computer destined to become the CB of the 80s, the hula hoop of the 80s?
Well, I'm glad you brought this analogy, because like a CB, it won't be very useful in its present form, which is just talking to yourself and to your computer. But like a CB, when it starts talking to other computers throughout the whole country, when we have several million machines interconnected, and people can talk to each other and can exchange views and can transact, can buy and sell information, can buy and sell informational services, labor. I think it's going to be a very interesting period where we'll have an information marketplace, a new way of life.
I quite disagree.
I want to get him angry.
Yeah, I think that won't work. I think that the home computer is going to suffer the same fate, by and large, as, say, the home movie camera. People had the idea, and still have the idea that if I have a very expensive, a very good home movie camera, then they can make very good movies. The trouble
You're still got to be a good movie maker first.
That's right. The trouble is you have to have an idea, okay, and people forget that. Similarly, to write good and interesting programs on a computer, one has to have an idea. Ideas are hard to come by.
Professor Weizenbaum, Professor de Touzos, thank you both.